Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion, where I've got another topic video for you. As always, check the description for more YouTube creators making videos for Marvel Champions. And if you like what you saw here today, please consider a like, sub, and comment to help the channel grow. With that out of the way, let's get to today's topic. And today's topic is the MCDC Con, MCDC 2025. Now, I actually recorded this yesterday, Tuesday morning before work, and I had to take my laptop to work with me to get it to render, but there was a problem with rendering. It kept blowing out the color. It was oversaturating everything. So this is take two. Hopefully, not only am I going to be more cogent in this recording, but hopefully my rendering software isn't going to screw me over again. First thing I want to say for MCDC is thank you to all the organizers, Boom Guy, VJax, and everyone else involved. Those are just the two names that pop off the top of my head. Thank you so much for creating a great event. Everything there was perfect. We had lots of free time, lots of, just go grab someone to play a game with, which I really appreciate. I had not played any 4-player games before this con. So lots of that. Plus we had lots of events built into the con itself. So that was very fun. One of the coolest aspects, in my opinion, of the con is getting all of these alt art and older promo cards. Here's a Hulk that I think they're calling Fixed Hulk. It's just a one card fix in quotes for Hulk. I do prefer to play official content when I can, but if you want me to play this on the channel, I will. This is a Hulk who has a couple different changes. Number one, he has 6 hand size in Alter Ego. He should have had that anyway. You may include any number of copies of Strength Resource card in your deck. Then in hero form, he's steady, very nice. Always angry. Action, discard a card from your hand. For each printed physical on that card, draw 1 card, and you get +1 attack until the end of the round. So just for ditching a strength, you're getting 2 new cards and 5 attack. It's very cool. I don't know if that's going to be overpowered. I haven't tried them yet. The first time I try this will be on the channel. So let me know down in the comments. Do you want me to play quote-unquote Fixed Hulk on the channel? Black Widow is a promo from Wave 1. This came out of a pack of stuff I won. I've already built a Silk deck with a bunch of other alt art and promo cards. I'm kind of looking forward to playing that. You guys know I play a lot of Captain Marvel. This is a Captain Marvel card I believe they made for Con of Heroes, and I was really excited to get this. Jerry from Johnson City traded me this on the last night at the con, and I will be using this when I play Captain Marvel because I'm going to play her a lot. Miss Marvel came in the same pack as Black Widow. We got a Nightcrawler, a She-Hulk, Thor. This Spectrum art is beautiful. I love the colors they went with. I have both Black Panthers, Adam Warlock, and I had a Maria Hill that I kind of wanted to keep, but I needed to trade that late to get a couple other cards I wanted. We have some alt art allies, some alt art events. There were 2 different arts on multitasking flipping around, and I didn't notice that at first. I just said, ooh, multitasking, cool. Well, I had 2 of these. These are the Sentinel art. The other one had Spider-Man eating a hot dog, and I had 1 of those. So then I had already talked to someone about trading me a multitasking, and then someone else said, oh, I've got a multitasking, I'll trade you. Well, they traded me 1, and it was the Spider-Man one. So now I had 2 of this and 2 of the Spider-Man, and I still needed really 1 of either to complete the set. But the Sentinel one is the one I wanted. So the person I had talked to earlier had the Sentinel one, and that's the one I got. I really love the art there. So I got a full play set of multitasking. Stealth Strike and Tackle came in that same pack. Oh, and Get Over Here came in that same pack with Black Widow. This is their new Dropkick that the con made. This one is very cool. If I'd had 2 of these, I would have sought out a third, but I didn't, and I didn't want to have to try to collect 2 of them. Web of Life and Destiny, that's a beautiful card. Hall of Heroes is cool. Danger Room. Sidekick is cool art. I got a full playset of Skilled Investigator with Jessica Drew on it. Skelly was there. Skelly makes custom, not custom, but alt art player side schemes and double resources. I got a full playset, well, not a full playset, but I got build support, specialized training with the full set of specialist cards. Some doubles there with Psylocke on them. So excited to use those. These came from the con. These are the ones I spoiled a little bit on my channel. If you'll remember, I got to spoil Invisible Woman. But I got that full set, and that is really cool. They were just giving this full set out at once. I didn't have to trade for it. Doom's Ascension was part of the little mini campaign we played, and that was really cool too. And then these are some rewards we got for that mini campaign. Rounding it out, we have some alt art Fading Figment cards for Loki, and we've got an alt art standard 3 with Loki on them. This was really cool as well. So lots of alt art and custom cards came out of this con. Thank you everyone who worked on those. That is really cool also. I also want to take just a moment to thank my wife. She had a surgery planned and she rescheduled it so I could go to this con. I didn't want her to do that because I just want to get it over with and not have it, on the back burner as long as it has been. But she said, no, go ahead and go. You're not going to get this chance very often to go play the game you love with other people. So thank you, Ellen, for rescheduling that. I would not have been to this con if she hadn't rescheduled that surgery. So huge, huge thanks to my wife. I want to talk real quick about the events we had. So Thursday night, that's just when everyone was coming into town, basically. So there wasn't any event scheduled for Thursday, but it was all just, meetup games. And we played a lot of meetup games. I did get to play a couple games with Boom Guy early. That was a lot of fun. And just the people I met during these games, a lot of them I ended up playing with most of the whole rest of the con. And that's cool. I went in wanting to meet new people. I didn't have to meet everybody there, and I did meet some fun people who I'm going to hopefully get to continue to play Marvel Champions with on Dragon cards. The Chumpions podcast and Astrodar, the three of them were there, and they go to the same local game store that I go to, and I've never seen any of them there before. So that was really cool. We are talking about doing some kind of meetup there, maybe every couple weeks. Just something we have to iron out, but that should be fun. Going into Friday. Friday was the official start of the con. We got this really cool little mini campaign where you're fighting at the embassy, and it said to ideally choose one of the Civil War leaders as the enemy for that, or the villain for that. And we did. We played against Iron Man. But that was really cool. And as we defeated those scenarios, we got these reward cards in between scenarios. And that was really cool too, because these allowed us to do something else in the next game of the campaign. It was three games in the campaign. It had Dr. Doom in it. It had those Fantastic Four characters in that one mod set I showed you. That was really, really cool. And then I didn't realize it because I wasn't reading a particular paper we had, but this was a 4-villain campaign. So we did 3 on Friday, and then Saturday morning was the Loki event. For the Loki event, Loki was the 4th scenario in that campaign. Basically, he was the one causing all the problems, and we had to go defeat Loki. Now, because there were so many of us, I believe he had 1,560 hit points, which is a lot. That was the first time I'd ever done any kind of epic multiplayer. I've never been to any of the Lord of the Rings or Arkham Horror conventions. But they always had some kind of epic multiplayer thing going on, I believe. And this was the first time I got to partake in something like that, and it was really cool and kind of really chaotic. We're all fighting our own Loki, and as we shatter the illusion, that damage goes on to, or the shatter damage goes on to the main Loki. And it was fun as we're playing, we're hearing everyone call out 20 damage, 40 damage, 25, whatever. And then that slowly ticking down. That was a lot of fun. We also had the loss condition. There were so many of us that, we had 18 opportunities to lose, as Brant put it. Brant was playing the Loki character. And I think we won with 10 left. So if a hero got defeated, that took one of those away. I think if the main scheme was completed, we reset it, and that took one of those away. So some of that was happening, and that was our timer to lose the scenario. That was a blast. Playing Loki in Epic Multiplayer was one of the coolest things I've done. I believe it was Saturday. I was in the taco shop around the corner, and Caleb Grace came in behind me. And, I was still waiting to order. I just turned around and slapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, thanks for making some great games." And, he's very humble. "Oh, well, thank you very much." And we got to talk a little bit. That was really cool, getting to talk with Caleb Grace. That is even more rare, I think, than going to a convention. Getting to talk to the guy that did a lot of the design work on the game, that was a really cool moment. And we talked a little bit about, Lord of the Rings and Arkham Horror. He said, "Oh, why don't you do those games online as well?" Mainly, it's just because of space. I like to be able to read the cards on camera. And with Marvel Champions, I can zoom in enough to do that. If I'm playing Arkham Horror or Lord of the Rings, I have to be zoomed way out because there's so many more cards on the table that then I can't read the cards on table. So that was the main reason I don't have a channel for Lord of the Rings or Arkham Horror. Marvel Champions is easier for me to film and get what I want out of it. But it was just really cool talking to Caleb. The second part of Saturday was the PvP tournament. They were doing 2 versus 2. And I am not especially interested in PvP, mainly because I don't have anyone really locally to play with. So I'm not going to get much value out of PvP. Of course, the best thing about Civil War is those leaders are just more villains. So it doesn't matter if you don't want to play PvP. Civil War is still a really great box to get. There's a lot of customization there. And it reminds me a little bit of, there was a Lord of the Rings scenario called, I think it was called The Wizard's Quest. It was a customizable scenario. And this feels a little bit like that, because you got to customize the sets that went in it. You got to customize how it played a little bit. And I really love that Civil War is doing some of those things. Lastly, on Sunday was Custom Day, where you could bring custom heroes, play against custom scenarios. I had to leave early Sunday morning to get back home. I didn't get back home until about 7 o'clock Sunday night, but I really wanted to do that. I have a custom hero that I've been tweaking over, 8 or 9 months, and I really would have liked to gotten to play it, but as the fates would have it, my printer, which, by the way, I've had since 1999, so I'm not too upset about it, but my printer broke, and I couldn't get those cards printed. So kind of okay that I had to leave Sunday morning and didn't get to play in the PvP or the custom day, but I really would have liked to do that just to show off my deck. I've got a Spike Spiegel deck from Cowboy Bebop that I'm really kind of proud of, and I was hoping other people could play it to help me refine it. I think it's a little bit too overpowered as it is. That aside, Sunday would have been fun, but I couldn't have participated, or I shouldn't say I couldn't have participated. I could still play games with someone, but it would have been fun to show off that custom. All right, last thing I want to talk about is the decks I took and how many times I got to play them. I was hoping to get about 20 games in during the con. I only got 14, And 14 is fine, right? 12 of them were 4-player, 2 of them were 3-player. But I took 5 decks with me. Gamora Protection. This deck was the one I was most worried about not playing very well. And the first night of the event, when we were just back in the lobby, that's another thing. I'm calling it Midnight Magic or Midnight Marvel. After the con was done every day, we'd just go back to the hotel and play until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. That was a lot of fun too. And the first night, the last game we played on the first night was Juggernaut. And this deck did not perform well against Juggernaut. Actually, Gamora got knocked out in that game. So I thought, yeah, not very good. And I was kind of reticent to play this deck again. But I believe it was Saturday, I played this deck again, and it did do really good. All the decks I'm going to talk about today, I do have them linked on MarvelCDB, and they're all down in the description so you can find them. But I got to play this one twice. I was just making a little tick mark every time I got to play a deck. And not so good one time. It did really good the second time I played it, because we had a cable player at the table, and this deck uses a lot of things for healing. I can never remember the one that gives us a tough. Establish Perimeter and Render Medical Aid were in here. Plus I had Med Teams and First Aid. But with the cable player, these just came off really quickly. So when we clear this one, everyone gets a tough. When we clear this one, everyone heals a total of 5 among the characters they control. So this deck did really good in that game. That was a Red Skull game, and with the cable player at the table, I mean, we crushed it. Next, Magic Leadership. Right up until I got my bag packed up, this was going to be X23 Leadership in a Sidekick X23 deck. I'm glad I took this one. This one was a little bit more versatile, and this one was a lot of fun too. I played it 4 times, and it just brought it. I mean, you know, aggression is for attacking, and justice is for thwarting. Well, leadership is for both, and you just flood with allies. And of course, Magic gives you a lot of value with her printed ability. I was also playing Call for Backup, so everyone would get an ally. When that was cleared, I was playing New Recruits, so everyone would get a new X-Men when that was cleared. And I think I was the only one in that game who played their new X-Men. Everyone else just used them as resource, but this deck was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I took this one over X23. X23's deck is just about sidekicking Honey Badger, so it can struggle if you can't get done what you want to get done. But this one is just value on value, spitting stuff out. Things are getting cheaper with Uncanny X-Men. You can, to me, my X-Men to get an X-Men out, etc. So this deck ended up being a lot of fun. Played it 4 times. Captain Marvel Aggression, I went into this thinking this would be my main, and I was going to play this the most because, as I previously mentioned, I love Captain Marvel and I play her a lot. But I only got 2 games with her. First game was against Ultron. We ultimately won that game. And late in the con, I was playing someone I don't remember who we were playing, but I had a Tigra in the game and a Thor, and they don't want me stealing their allies. They want to engage them for what they're doing. So this deck, while it still did very good and, you know, can flood a lot of stuff onto the board and can take care of a lot of stuff, it was built to steal minions. So it got a little bit slow in that game. And, oh, you know what? That's not correct. I was going to play this game, or this deck, and then when I saw Tigra and Thor, I decided not to play it. That's what it was. So I don't remember the second game I got to play with this, but I did play 2 games with it. SPDR Justice. This is one I built specifically for the con, and it did okay. It didn't do as much as I thought it was going to do. In both games I played it, I did get 2 games. I got to a really slow start. And in one of the games, I was stunned and or confused almost every turn. But I also played this deck incorrectly. So in SPDR, you'll have your suits, you'll have Penny, and just because it was the con, I didn't want to slow turns down. I didn't fully read my action. Alter ego action, exhaust this, draw 2 cards. Well, I was drawing 2 cards on this in the first game I played with her. And no one caught it, so, no one said, hey, you're doing that wrong. I caught it in the very next game I played because someone else was running SPDR. And they said, okay, I'm going to exhaust this, draw 2 cards. I went, oh, you're doing that wrong, aren't you? And he said, no, it's exhaust this, draw 2 cards. I was like, holy cow, I just played that wrong through an entire game. I'm glad no one noticed, but I feel like I should have paid more attention there and played it correctly, but no one caught it, so it was fine. It wasn't an intentional cheat. Some people say, oh, you cheated. Cheating is a result of intention, I think. If you mess something up, that's not cheating. You played it wrong, but it's not cheating. So I hear that word a lot. Oh, they were cheating in this case or that case. No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't intentional. And it definitely was not intentional on my part there. Black Widow Protection. This is another one that I was really proud of. I've been playing this deck for a while, and I said, I'll take it to the con, see how it goes. And if you haven't noticed, I wanted to have 5 different heroes and all 4 of the different core 4 aspects. Now, I did take a second protection deck, but I wanted 4 characters, or rather, I wanted 4 different heroes with 4 different aspects. So that is why I took the specific decks that I took. But Black Widow Protection, this one, cancels boost icons, it cancels treacheries, etc. This deck was a lot of fun, and I did play it 4 times. Partly because I won that Black Widow promo card. So I swapped that in and said, okay, now I've got a really cool new Black Widow card. I put that in, played it a couple more times, and this deck did really, really well. This is my Ready for a Fight deck, or rather, Return for a Fight deck, because it uses Return the Favor and Ready for a Fight. And this deck was a lot of fun. 4 games with it. It did really well all 4 times I played it. And this did so well that because I had gotten that promo card, and I am probably going to end up taking this to more cons in the future if I get to go, I ordered a Black Widow mat when I got back home. It'll come in a couple days. So now when I play this deck, I can also use the Black Widow mat. That's not 100% necessary, right? But we do nerd out hard in this game when we find something we really like. And that's why I did it. I've got my new Black Widow hero card. I've got a new Black Widow mat coming in. So Black Widow, she's not going to be my main. I still think Captain Marvel is my main hero that I'm going to play most of the time. But this deck is getting close. This deck could take over Captain Marvel just because it's that much fun to play. All right, that is a lot of rambling about a lot of things. If you've never been to a con, I highly suggest you try to make one at least once. I had such a great time meeting new people, playing so many games, and I'm the type of person who doesn't like going on vacation because 2 days in, I'm always like, man, I just wish I was at home doing XYZ. I could have been doing the laundry. I could have been getting the yard mowed, whatever. So I just don't like vacations, but this was a little mini vacation that I never once thought about being at home and getting home stuff done. So great con, great atmosphere, great people. I played Magic the Gathering for a very long time, and you go in for Friday Night Magic, and some of these guys are just really rude, really mean, and, it's not always a pleasant experience. But everyone in this Marvel Con was so welcoming. If you made a mistake, no one cared. They'd be like, oh yeah, let's rewind that. Or, yeah, that's not a big deal. Your deck's doing fine. Don't worry about it. Like, in one of the games, my SPDR deck was the Thwarter. And it was having a slow start. It was having a bad time. And everyone's like, don't worry about it. It's just a game. Who cares? I really appreciated that. And I just love the the respect everyone has for everybody else, the ease of which it was to just go up and say, hey, you need a fourth person? Like, yeah, come join us. That was a lot of fun. So, in conclusion, go to a con if you can. This was my first one, and I will be back at least to this con. I can't get to Minnesota in April, May for Con of Heroes, but if they're going to do this con yearly, I will absolutely be there. If you can go to one, go to one. Thanks again to the entire staff for MCDC. You made a really good event, and the events themselves within the con were really cool too. That mini campaign was cool and well thought out. Ending it with Loki in a multiplayer epic day was really cool as well. So keep up the good work. I will be back next year. Also, again, thank you to my wife. I would not have been able to go if she didn't reschedule that surgery. And just for everyone to know, it is not a major surgery. It's not like a life-threatening thing that she put off so I could go throw cards with nerds. It is very minor surgery, but it's been looming, and I personally just wanted to get it over with. But she graciously said, no, let's put that aside so you can go play your nerd game, as she calls it, with your friends. So thanks again to my wife. Thank you to the organizing staff. If you can go to one of these, go to it. Last thing I'm going to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous day.